Hi guys, good evening. Welcome to the Pivot Trade, the only channel that teaches you how to benefit from trap traders and be successful and profitable traders. Now this information you get all for free, so please go ahead and watch all my videos on this channel. A lot of informational and a lot of educational videos have already been shared. This channel has more than 100 videos and you will find a lot of videos in the strategy section and the educational section, which will help you get along with your trading journey and will help you to become profitable traders. So now this is the analysis of the 19th of May and let's see what Nifty did today. We could see that Nifty gapped down severely today, and the gap down was from the previous day's close to this day's open. It was nearly 315 points. So a big gap down in Nifty, and after that, from that high of today to the low of today, Nifty has fallen 200 points. And let's see where Nifty closed today. From yesterday's close to today's close, on a close to close basis, we have a difference of 430 points almost. So a huge swing in Nifty. Markets are extremely volatile, and we could see a rally here on this day, which was the 17th of May, then a sideways kind of a day on the 18th, and then on the 19th we can see that all those gains Nifty had made have been wiped out. Now we can see that Nifty is very close to the base that the 16th of May had created, and it's important that this level, which is around 15,740, holds. So it's been an important support. You could see that price has taken support around that same level here on the 12th of May, then it took support on the 13th of May, and it had a bounce from on the 16th of May as well. So that is an important support, and price is very close to that support now. So we will just extend this Virgin CPR now, which was coming from the day before today, that is the 18th of May. And we also have a Virgin CPR from today's price action. You could see here that the Virgin CPR is untouched, so we'll just mark that Virgin CPR first. Okay, we'll extend that box forward. We'll extend the gap forward also, and we also have a very old Virgin CPR which is coming from the 6th of May, which is your choice whether to mark or not. Okay, now talking about today's price action, let's see here what Nifty has done. It opened with a red candle after a huge gap down, and you could see that this red candle had a lot of sellers in it. Now what usually happens is the day sometimes will tend to rally like this to the bottom, but most times what happens after such kind of a red candle is that this candle is a trap candle. So after a severe gap down or a severe gap up, if you see a red or a green candle respectively, then you should not immediately jump into the trade. Usually it happens that the price will go up here, and this is where you can benefit from trap traders. Because when you see such red candles after a huge gap down, you know that a lot of retail sellers will short there. So that candle will have a lot of retail sellers in it. And where would all these retail sellers keep their stop losses? They will be out here. And so this will typically be a stop loss rich zone. And so if you are successful in pushing the price up in this zone here, then as an institution you know that you can take all these stop losses and create liquidity. So if you have liquidity, it means that you have the power to initiate your trades easily. The places where they will find liquidity, they will want to go ahead and trap traders. So I always make it a point to wait for this high to be taken out and not to definitely jump into this particular short position on the first candle itself. But sometimes it happens that price tends to continue to fall after that first candle also, which is fine because that is not a pattern that I typically trade on, so that is okay if the price runs away from me. So it is important at such places to understand that you have to follow one particular strategy. You have to understand that the strategy that provides you profits will at times provide you losses, but if you side yourself and if you back your own strategy and if you back your own self, then if you keep following the same strategy, then even 50% of win rate will be enough, because the days that you lose, on the days that you take your SL, the SL will be small, but on the days that you win, your wins will be very big. And so your SLs are your friends. So take your SLs on the days when you are wrong. So the price never really went up and hit the high of the day here. And so if you are a trader who likes to play on the emotions of other traders, who likes to understand and think where other traders are trapped, then for you such a day is a day when you do not enter. Okay, so you are one type of a trader. There are various types of traders. So if you are a trader who trades on reversals, then you better wait for reversals only. Don't start suffering from FOMO on days like this. Okay, don't start suffering from FOMO because you've seen a big rally either to the upside or downside. You've seen a big fall like today, and then you think that you are not able to enter that rally, so you're suffering from FOMO. Don't do that. Because there was no reversal today, then your bread and butter strategy did not fire. And if you are a breakout trader, then you should work only on breakouts. So you should work only on breakouts on days when you see that such patterns happen. Okay, so we had marked this particular level of 15,900, right? So why had we marked it? Because this day on the 17th of May, you had seen that the price had rallied from here, and so this was a demand zone. Now if you're a breakout kind of a trader, then which was the candle where you could have entered? This was the candle on which you could have entered, because you're a breakout trader, right? So this was a breakout, and it came after a considerable consolidation. So after this particular first candle here was formed, there was no real movement to price. After that, price just kept going sideways, giving it an impression that it is going to be a sideways day again like yesterday. But price, after it broke out of this particular zone, it was a big breakout. So if you're a supply demand player, then you could have shorted this particular candle with your SL on top here, and then you would have known that since the S4 is so close, usually the daily pivot will not hold price whenever a breakout has happened so close. And then you could have waited for your profit booking at the level of somewhere here. Okay, so wherever you find that, you have already met 1:2. And you can see that I have also plotted the 20 EMA here. It is sloping, and usually I tell you that you should take a 20 EMA kind of a trade wherever you see a mean reversion. So what is mean reversion? I had explained this a couple of days back also when we had seen the rally. Mean reversion means that if you see that 20 EMA, the price opened here far away from the 20 EMA, right? So the 20 EMA was right above here. And when you see that it is a trending day, you should wait for a reversal candlestick pattern wherever you see that the price is touching or pretty close to the 20 EMA. And you could see that here there was a red candlestick pattern. You could see this form of a doji, but it was still far away from the 20 EMA. And what had I told you? I told you that you should usually look for a close by resistance, may it be a supply or a demand zone or whatever, but ensure that there is a supply demand zone or a daily pivot wherever you can safely keep your SL. So one entry was here, that is for breakout traders, and if you have not entered that position, then the other very specific entry on 20 EMA was this one. This is a very good place to enter, and here you could see that at around 1:25 PM and 1:30 PM, that was a reversal kind of a pattern there. You could see that this particular line had this particular red candle had taken out the previous green candle by more than 50%. So again, if you can see this, what is this pattern? This pattern here, it looks like a dark cloud cover, right? And it is a reversal pattern because you can see here that more than 50% of that candle has been taken out, the green candle. So if you equate this, so let's write an equation here. So if you equate this, then you know that this is the high of that candle, and this being the low of that candle. You can mark lines here, and then you can see that there is a very small green body and a large wick on the top. Now this is the pattern that you can see here on this particular combination here, because this is the place where the candle has given you a reversal sign. And so that was the place to enter based on 20 MA. If you take trades based on 20 MA, then please take trades only based on 20 MA. Although you saw that it did not really give you a very specific fall after that, but then you could have adjusted it, right? So your SL would have been somewhere here above this particular pivot, which was the S4 pivot, as you can see here, and you could have shorted this particular combination here. It need not have been this low. You could have waited for a slight pullback also and traded this level, and then you could have taken your profits here. Then you could have gotten a very good risk reward on that trade. So that was the day today in Nifty, and that was the way to enter into Nifty today. Let's check on the 15-minute time frame now. Do we see any particular levels on the 15-minute time frame here? So you could see that this was an important support here, and after that support, why was it an important support? Because price kind of gave a big green candle here, right? And then it came down again, and here there was a resistance to the price. So this is an important zone here within this area where this particular price action has happened. Why is it important? Because after this particular breakout here, the price has fallen non-stop up to this point, and then a support comes in, and then price makes this kind of a big green candle, but then takes resistance at this point and then falls again. So there is an area to be marked here where you can mark that a reversal has happened, but the price has not been able to go up from there. So this is one area which you can mark, but as you can see, it coincides with the next day's CPR, that is tomorrow's CPR. So it's okay if you don't mark that area again. Okay, you have a supply zone on the top here. So the PDH, that is today's high, will act as a supply zone, and you can mark it as a zone. You can see that in the 15-minute time frame, it's a green doji. So you can mark it as a zone here like this, and you can keep that zone ready. So let's check on the time frame, the 5-minute time frame, how the zone is. So this is your zone. If you want, you can actually get more touches on the zone also, but since the R1 level is right there, I did not go too deep on this. So you can actually get more touches if you touch these candlestick also. So you can mark a zone like that if you want, because you can see that a lot of wicks have happened in that area, and you can see that all these wicks suggest that there is selling pressure on the top, and this zone price was not able to break, right? So for a long time, price was going sideways in this particular zone without being able to break that zone. So if you want, you can mark that zone off also. So you can mark it like this. This is also a good way to mark that area. So you can get as many touches on that as you want. So you can include all those wicks and mark this zone where you can see that there is a big fall after the gap down. Mark the gap also from the PDL to the today's day high. I will mark that gap in the chart that I post on Twitter. So let's go ahead and check Bank Nifty now. So we could see that Bank Nifty also gapped down today. You can see that this is the close, the previous close of Bank Nifty, and this is the open, which is around 640 points. And then Bank Nifty made all these wicks on the top, took a lot of support around that weekly pivot range. The central pivot range is right there, right? So that was a resistance in Bank Nifty, and you could see that there was an initial bounce from Bank Nifty Virgin CPR. So the 17th of May, Virgin CPR acted as a support initially before it was broken by the 11:50 AM candle, and the support came here in this area. So you can see that long wicks on the bottom, and in spite of such selling here, you could see that price had actually reversed, but then around this area it took resistance again, and it could not break that resistance today. So we will delete this particular Virgin CPR now. We don't need that. We have today's Virgin CPR active for tomorrow, so we will mark that zone now, and we can see that it's a pretty narrow CPR for tomorrow now. This is the Virgin CPR coming from today. Okay, we have a supply zone on the top here because Bank Nifty did give a fall after that. So this is a supply zone. You can mark it as a zone. So you can mark a ray like this on the high, and then you can go back and mark, take all these wicks into consideration also, and you can mark an area there also. You can see that R1 pivot is right in that area, so it's okay if you don't mark that zone, but if you're comfortable marking zones, then you can mark that zone out also. You can see that on the 15-minute time frame, in the last about 2:45 to 3:30 p.m., that is around 45 minutes, you can see that there has been a near 200 point recovery in Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty nearly came to the previous swing low here, and then it closed with a strong green candle. Let's see on the daily time frame how Bank Nifty has done. Okay, on the daily time frame, it looks like a doji candle with long wicks on the top and bottom, and it has here left a gap on the top. So it needs to be seen how that gap is filled. So I will mark that gap in the final charts that I mark. Okay, checking out Bank Nifty's price action, you could see that Bank Nifty was within the CPR zone, or the weekly CPR zone, and you could see that Bank Nifty was giving or taking resistance on the top right since the beginning, and you could see that there was support at this area initially. So this support, if you can see, has been acting as a resistance again. So if you see where it bounced from, this area, around this area, right? So it has been taking resistance around this area again, and once the price was broken, I mean that area was broken by this candle, it has not been able to break that level also and fallen down. So that area also might be important looking at the price action in Bank Nifty. So if you want, you can mark that area, but since it is very close to the CPR or inside the CPR, I have not marked that area because you can see price action taking resistance exactly at that same zone today. So that zone has been very important. So let's mark a ray and you will notice how important that zone has been today. See, around that zone you can see so much price action. Here it was taking support, then it was broken by this candle, then it was acting as a resistance, again very close to it. It was acting as a resistance and it closed very close to that zone again. So very important area this one in Bank Nifty, and if you want, you can in this area also, if you are very sure about it and if you're more comfortable with it, then you can mark this level also here. So you can see how important that zone becomes now, but to my eyes it is not necessary to mark that zone, so I'm not marking it. If you need more levels in the charts, then please go ahead and mark these levels also, they are important. In the 15-minute time frame also, we see that that area here is important, but since it is very much close to the CPR, we are not marking that area, or rather inside the CPR, so we're not marking it. Okay, so the gap I will be posting on the charts when I post those charts on Twitter later in the evening. I hope you've liked this video. If you have, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified each time I post a new video. Thank you for watching, guys. Please do leave your comments in the comment section below and also share the channel with your friends and family so it helps it grow the channel faster. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.